Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to go over our daily technical analysis update of crude oil and natural gas. And looks like they're both up today. Crude oil actually, it's getting into it, I guess. Looks like the equities are slightly lagged behind it. We'll take a look at them. Again, guys, I think oil is going to do quite well in a upward movement. Not every single day. We're going to get down days, guys. Don't think it's just a straight up movement. But I do think that oil is going to move higher this summer. I think that inventories are going to be tight, and that tightening of inventory is going to be the driver of the move of this oil price. So I think we're going to move higher. That's my take. I think that we broke out, did a return move, did have a retest of it, and then that we're going to break upward. Ultimate price target. I'm not a big fan of doing price targets, but I'm going to give you a fat price target here, 150 to 250. I don't know exactly where it's going to land. I don't know if anyone does, but that's a price target that I'll throw out there. It's a nice big fat one. And that's for this year, probably maybe even by summertime, but definitely Q4, maybe even Q1, 2023, anywhere in that price range. That's where the market's going to get super tight, and it could even go higher than what I just said. I just threw out some numbers that are all higher than where we are today. Put it that way. But I'll give you my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice, but let's jump in here. I'm a huge oil bull. Why am I an oil bull? We have liquidity coming into the market from the real estate market and loans against new homes. That is liquidity coming into the market. It's going to raise interest rates, and that's going to put the inflation and liquidity into the system is going to raise interest rates, and interest rates are going to force money to rotate out of bonds and stocks into oil, which is one of the best inflation hedges. But here we are today, up 7.3%. A nice big buying pressure day today. We're right at this resistance line. What is that resistance line? Let's back out and look. It's right at the top of basically this guy here. We're getting real close to it. That was the last kind of previous high. So we hit our head, we came on back, and now we're heading back up again. Is it going to continue higher every single day? No, it's going to work its way higher. And it could do it dramatically. I don't know. We'll see. Now, natural gas looks like it wants to break, guys. I mean, this is looking quite fresh. Fresh to make a move. And we'll see which way if this breaks down. I mean, we're kind of in between seasons coming up here. I would think it's going to break down and relax for a little bit, but with natural gas shortages all throughout the world, who knows? I would not be caught out of it. So I'm in my companies. I'm just sticking with it. I don't really care what this does, but it looks like it wants to go somewhere quick at some point. We have been hugging the bottom line, using it as support, so we'll see if it breaks down versus up. XOP, it's right at that resistance line again. Let's see what this thing does. It's right on it, and it's looking quite solid. And this is a logarithmic. It's right on the line. But we've broken out of the pattern, the big downtrend line. I'll go logarithmic. We've broken out of this guy, and we're starting to head higher. We could see a big move up, a very big move up. What I do in these situations is I don't do anything. I absolutely do nothing with my money. I just let it sit in there and make me money. That's what I do. These times are where you do nothing. SM Energy, it's still getting some selling pressure. We're still at this resistance area. Some people ask, well, how come it's not moving? Guys, I can't tell you all the exact reasons. I'm just telling you there's a lot of resistance at this line here. And there's a lot of resistance because we're struggling to break through it. But we'll break through it. If oil continues higher, you're going to see this thing break free at some point and just run, cheetah style. So if you want to buy it here, that's up to you. I think it's a good, solid company. They still have 50% of their hedges in place, and that will roll off more so between 2022 and 2023. So their income's going to go up with the price of oil, and on top of it, when their hedges roll off, more income's going to come in because they won't have the losses from the hedges. CDEV is another one that's doing the same thing as SM Energy. It's still in this pattern. It's working its way to a move that's going to be far higher than where we are today, I think. Just getting some of this stuff out of here. Cleaning it up a little bit. Crescent Energy, another one that's been looking quite strong. It's up 4.9%. You can see this big pattern. We're trying to break to the upside. This is one that I also own. This looks fantastic, guys. I like how this looks. We're just slamming this resistance line with some sellers, and we just persistently are hugging this top line, which means the bottom line isn't even being tested really. So there it is. If you squeeze the bottom line up, but we are really coming up into this top line. Eventually we're going to break it. And Callum Petroleum's in the same spot. We got a lot of resistance up there. Just be patient. Don't get too impatient here, because when they break, it's going to run. You're going to see like a massive move. Like the longer it stays here and coils up, the more this thing could unleash to the upside. So be patient. Athabasca Oil's hitting its resistance area. There it is. It's right at that resistance line. It's trying to break through it. The volume's stepping in, guys. Just let this thing go. This is like a rubber band that's being pulled back that's about to be unleashed. It's got a lot of kinetic energy. Kinetic? No, potential. Potential energy, not kinetic. Kinetic's in motion. Potential means we've got a lot of stored energy in the band, and it's about to get unleashed and turned into kinetic energy. Potential energy. RECAF. Looking at this guy, we're moving on. A little bloody nose today. That's all we got. A little bloody nose. We'll see if we move higher tomorrow. We've got Crescent Point. Nice little extension. I like these bodies when they've got the opening and closing price like this. If you look at the daily, it looks like, and I like this, guys. We opened here and we went from left to right. So I mean, yeah, we went up. We went up kind of this way, but it was still a gradual strengthening throughout the day. I like when they make those type of chart patterns. The big, nice, tall candlesticks. Northern Oil and Gas, a little bit of selling pressure up here, but we'll get through it. It's broken out of its big, long pattern. I like it here, guys. I like Northern Oil and Gas. Grand Tierra Energy, moving on up, nice and strong day today, 6.6%. Another one that's broken out of this pattern. Just let it make you money. Do not try to trade in and out of these things. At least that's my opinion. You can do whatever you want, but my opinion is hold on. I think we're going to see better oil numbers coming up in terms of oil price. Tellurian, let's zoom in here. We're right above this pattern. We've broken. We've done a little retest type move, and we're sitting there waiting for a move higher. A cheetah in the making. Pedevco, little down day today. It looks like it wants to go all the way to the corner over here before breaking out, which is fine. Let it be. Oasis, small downward momentum. It was an up day, 1.4%, but it's looking okay. We're still above the pattern. Comstock Resources is starting to stretch its legs a little bit after this breakout. That's looking strong. Sandridge, it's still sitting on top, trying to make some new highs. Ring Energy, another one that's broken out of a big resistance pattern. That's just chilling there. Surge Energy. Surge Energy has broken this big long-term pattern to the upside. It will eventually work its way higher. Will we get a retest out of this? I don't know. Would I buy it here? Yeah, I'd buy it here, and then if it pulls back, I'd buy more. That's how I enter. I cost average in. I don't try to time as best as I can. I just try to cost average in and get it in good low-risk areas. Tamarack Valley is another low-risk area, I think. It could have a big run ahead of it. Looking at Crescent Energy, this used to be our Contango Oil and Gas. It's still looking good. Vermilion moving on up. Nice strong day in Vermilion. And then Meg Energy looks really good. This is a nice good bounce off of this support area. This could have a big run, guys. If you're looking at Meg, there isn't too much resistance. A little bit of resistance at about 19 to 23, but you could get to $29 pretty quick, depending on how it cuts through this. Looking at the oil or energy service sector, this thing's still moving on up. It's looking fantastic. Hold on to your shares, guys. Tetra Technologies is moving on up. This guy is just kind of moving off its base here. We could see a nice big run out of it. Looking at Transocean. Transocean's broken it's an inverted shoulder, head, shoulder. And we've been moving on up. Just let it make you money, guys. Don't try to be cute and trade in and out. Just get your shares and just hold on. Let it make you money. A lot of these, you get these big chart pattern breaks and then they break and they run. Let it run. let it run. And the market conditions are good for oil to go higher. EXTN's broken out of its pattern. It's going to start to run too. Let it make you money. Valaris moving on up. Nice, good pattern break, back test, and now we're moving on up. MMA offshore. This is one that I really, really liked. Telling everybody on the channel, you know, if you can get MMA offshore, this thing looks fantastic to move higher. Looks fantastic. I was, you know, big buyer in here is when I said to unleash, and we continue to move on up. Tidewater just ripping it. Another 5% up day. I mean, this thing's pretty, you know, it's up substantial. I own some warrants in it too, just to spicing up life. Why not, right? Next year, oil field solutions moving on up. It's broken the downtrend line. Again, guys, just let it make you money. Don't try to be cute. Don't try to be fancy. This one looks like it's starting to turn around. KLXE, so we broke out, did a retest move. A little bit of resistance support through here. Yeah, looks good. CHX, another one that's trying to break through its big long-term resistance line. I like buying them right below the resistance. It'll break. You'll have to relax a little bit. It'll do a return move, and then we'll eventually make our way higher. This is about patience. It's a game of patience, guys. Cactus Energy looking good. Solid move there. Nine's way down. It looks like it's trying to find some footing here. This is typically when you want to buy, is when you've got the nice big move, the comeback, and then it's just going into a dead period. I call it the dead period. The dead period is when it doesn't move up or down much. OII is one I really like right in this section here. For some reason, I think this thing's going to get a big move forward, a big move higher. So I buy it and I add in, and I just don't do anything. Noble's been moving very well off this. I like how this setup was. We basically squeezed it up to the corner, and now the buyers are in control and moving it higher. Helix Energy Solutions, another one I bought down in the bottom here. I'm just holding on to it. Still looks good. CGGYY just moving sideways, a little kind of like a pattern that's like a continuation flag pattern to move on up. So you know what I do? I wouldn't do anything. These are long-term investments that are going to return quite well, I think. And then looking at Petrofac, another one that's just been moving sideways. I like how we got these big buying pressure days. It looks really good for a stair-step pattern higher. So that looks really good. Looks like coal had a pretty fun day today. This is New Hope Corp. This is one that I think looks really good for a move higher. BTU is another one that's looking solid. CSUAY, China Shinua, that has the booty bottom that's right underneath it. Looking at Yancoal, Yancoal's got the huge volume stepping in there. But that one looks like it's doing just fine. Don't be afraid with these big sell-offs. Just hold on. The fundamentals of these companies are ridiculously good. Whitehaven Coal looks ridiculously good. It's moving on higher. Looks great here. We've broken out of this big pattern or downtrend line. And then Thungala's been moving on up. It's got a little wick at the top. It's okay. It'll have its drawdowns or pullbacks, and then it'll move on up again. But the sector looks really good, guys. I wouldn't do anything. Just hold on. If you're not in it, you know, try to find something that's sitting on top of a pattern. Like for me, I would look at like CHX. It hasn't blown up. And the interest isn't there yet. So I would say, okay, I'll add a little bit in there. OII, Energy Service Company, I'll add a little bit there. Maybe I'll pick up Northern Oil and Gas. I'll add a little bit there. And then you just kind of like spread it out and just let it roll. If you like SM Energy, do SM Energy, do CDEV. Whatever fits within your investment style, whatever fits, they're all within patterns ready to break. And if oil continues to go higher, they're going to break those patterns and go. And then you're going to see a run. You'll see the cheetah in action. And it's just going to run all the way up with oil. And it'll be leveraged. Right now, we're at those resistance. I think the equities, they're going, I don't know if I believe this move yet. I don't know if I believe it. And then once they believe it, it's going to be like gone. Money's going to flow in there, and it's just going to be game over on like Donkey Kong. Ape strong, bull, whatever. Whatever comes to my mind, that's what it's going to look like. Because you're going to look at your portfolio and say, oh my God, what just happened here? So if you guys like this analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It looks like the commodity market's doing quite well. I don't know why you wouldn't want to subscribe. I mean, watching this stuff and hopefully you guys are, you know, have your commodity investments, whatever allocation it is, and hopefully they're doing well for you. If they are or they aren't, put in the comment section what you guys think. Are your investments doing well? Are they doing poor? Name some things maybe that you could have done differently in this bull market, and let me know. Thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.